What's up, guys? What up, y'all?
Let's go.
What's up?
What's up?
Welcome back, I-90 Sports Nation, to episode 21 of the I-90 Sports Podcast.
The best episode.
What up, JD? As usual, I got my buddy Bears fan in the house, Chicago fan. What up, bud?
Dude, I'm doing good. I'm better than ever, as usual. Better than ever, as always. Constantly hyped about Chicago sports. I mean, we got a lot to talk about, man, today. It's going to be a really, really good episode. I'm excited.
We got a lot to unpack today. There was a lot going on.
So much. It's awesome. I'm really hyped to get into it. A lot of awesome comments already. That's awesome. I'm hyped. Read all these.
Let's jump right into it. We're going to start with, like we usually do. We'll start with the NFL. And let's talk about the Pats and Colts game coming up. And it's once again, it's a big game for both teams. The Patriots trying to get another win and stay on top of that stay with that number one seed and hang on to it. Although we did get a few favors done over the weekend, separating us by two. I think they gave us a 2-game lead now with the way that the Bills and the Bills loss, and I forget who else, but we did get some help this weekend.
We did.
So that was nice. But hopefully the Pats can come out with a dub and keep that number one seed. Currently sitting at 9-4. They will head into after a really tough game against the Bills. That was some rough sledding there. That was not an easy one. We had talked about that previously. That was not an easy game. They had to work for that one. But they're heading to Indy to face a very stout run game in the Indianapolis Colts. And Carson Wentz has kind of found new life and is playing more than serviceable. He's played well. It's a good game. So we'll start off here with let's kind of start it off on the offensive end of things. So I want to get your thoughts first. How would you if you were the Patriots attack these guys, the Colts?
The Colts have a stout defense. The Colts have a strong running game, like as you said, and it's really interesting. I think Jonathan Taylor, or excuse me. Yeah, that's Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. I think he is probably right now over the last few weeks has shown that with Derrick Henry, King Henry, since he's injured, Taylor is now probably the premier back in the league, or at least he could be going forward, and he is phenomenal. And I think that this is definitely a grudge match. You know how much the Colts hate the Patriots for a lot of reasons, especially in recent years for the Josh McDaniels situation, but that's a whole different story. This specific game, it's going to be another ground and pound, I think. There's a lot of bad weather coming into the Midwest lately. We don't know what's going to happen, honestly. The weather could be completely unpredictable. That's something that cannot be understated. And I mean, the Patriots got to stick to the formula. They got to keep on running. Maybe slowly dish out more and more of Mac Jones as you see fit. But ultimately, the name of the game is time of possession. And the Patriots understand how to control that. And the Colts also do too. So this is going to be a very good game, a classic rivalry, reborn. Because both of these teams want to have playoff aspirations. I mean, the Colts are not necessarily like an elite team by any means, but they have talented guys. They have a coach who's proven he can win, and they hate the Patriots. So this is going to be a good game, I think. And ultimately, how would you attack the defense? Like I said, the only way you can do it is the run game. Start with the run game. But let me know what you think about that, my man.
No, I completely agree. So here's what I kind of wrote down for offense, right? I agree with a lot of what you were saying. It's to me, this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches because both of us are going to come out of the gate, and the first thing we're going to try and do is establish dominance on the ground.
Yes,
both teams,
absolutely.
With Taylor and with Harris and Stevenson. That's both teams are going to come out, and it's just going to, like you said, be a ground and pound kind of game. This is going to be a game that's won and lost in the trenches. Our our interior defensive line has got to play. We'll get to that. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So for the offense, the offensive line has got to come out and they have to play exactly like they did in Buffalo. Given
gotta protect the kid,
giving Harris some running room, and just room to work. So I want Josh McDaniels to continue what he's been doing, put his foot on the gas and go right after him. I don't want to hesitate. I want to attack the Colts on offense and make them, because here's what I think, right? And let me know what you think. If you put the Colts in a position where right off the bat they're playing from behind, it's not going to be good for them, because that means you got to put the ball in Carson Wentz's hands. If they're down 10 early on, it's not going to be good for them.
Carson Wentz, to me, there's a lot of Jay Cutler in Carson Wentz. And as a Bears fan, I know all about that. He's got tremendous talent. Like, it cannot be underestimated. Honestly, I would say Carson Wentz is a lot better than Jay Cutler. But there is like that kind of, if you put the ball in his hands, what will he do with it? So I agree with you. The name of the game for the Patriots right away, punch him in the chin, make Carson Wentz play. Don't let Jonathan Taylor even sniff the end zone. Like, do not get him excited. Do not get him going. And he said it's going to be a Taylor and Bolden fight, dog fight. Yeah, man. I think that's a heavy possibility. I think that's very possible that this could be. But that's the thing. I think the Patriots can contain Taylor better than the Colts could contain Bolden. Just saying, because the Patriots could always switch it up on you too. They don't have just one dimension. They have like 5 guys that can send it to you. So I think I like the Patriots in that game, to be honest, overall.
No doubt. So obviously it's the run we want to assert dominance in the run game, and like you had said previously, control the clock, long sustained drives that come away with points, whether it's 3 or 6, hopefully more than likely it's 6 every time you go down into the red zone, but you can't always score a touchdown, but hopefully long sustained drives that accumulate points. That's what I want to see. And I do think that they can utilize the middle of the field, because I don't have too much faith in the linebacking core on the Colts. So I think a lot of what Mac Jones is good at, those slants and in cuts and just the comeback routes, a lot of that 8 to 12 yard, 8 to 16 yard throw, I think we're going to see a lot of those. And I think we're going to see a lot of those like rub routes and pick routes, because I do think the middle of the field for New England is going to be open. I think they can definitely take advantage of the Colts linebackers on that front.
So you're saying Hunter Henry is going to have a good day?
I think probably. So. I think Jonnu Smith and I think the tight ends are going to have a very good day. I think that middle of the field that they can definitely attack and use against them.
This is the time to get Jones going too.
And then obviously you got to, keep your rookie quarterback upright, protect Mac. If you let Mac Jones work like the way he's been, been able to work, then I think we can win this game. And here's a little stat for you. So where do you think the Patriots offensive line is ranked this year without looking or anything? Where do you think they're ranked this year?
It's got to be top 5 with the running that they've been doing. It's got to be, right?
Where do you think? Give me your rank.
6.
2. They are second in the NFL, only behind the Cleveland Browns offensive line. So they are the number 2 ranked offensive line in the league right now.
Wow, the Browns, that says a lot. Wow. And that's interesting. And really, this is the time to establish yourself as an offensive line, as a run game, and to because that's the thing. This is the game. We're late in the season. The Patriots are probably going to go to the playoffs. They're in a really, really good position to go to the playoffs. So this is the time to let the rookie let it rip a little bit. Let him throw a little bit deep down the field. Don't get too crazy. But I think this is the game where we're going to see Mac throw a little bit more than we have in previous games, because also it was it was snowing, and I really respect what Belichick did. I mean, I think Belichick. Also, another thing. this should be noted. I don't know if this was noticed by a lot of people. I think me and you noticed it, but the Navy and the Army game, Belichick's he's a military guy, military brat. In the previous week, right before that game, he decides to run like crazy. I mean, there's something there. That there's a connection to that. Obviously, the snow had to do with it too, but
that just goes to show you too. Like just to go off real quick, 1 second here. Mm-hmm. You name me one other coach. If you said to me we're gonna run the ball 46 times and throw 3 passes, and you have to win that game. Name me one other coach in the NFL that could do that. There is none.
They couldn't because they wouldn't have enough schemes, in my opinion.
To do it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have enough schemes. Bill Tortlet says the Patriots can't make it. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I actually don't know. The only team I think that could do it is Derrick Henry. And I notice how I didn't say Mike Vrabel, said Derrick Henry just because of the talent. Bill Tortlet wants us to know that the Patriots can't make effing stupid penalties on dumb penalties in the defensive line.
Good
point.
But like absolutely, like we said at the start of this thing, this game is going to be
True.
Whoever wins in the trenches. Whoever wins in the trenches is going to win this game.
The Patriots are number 2, only behind the Browns. I mean. The Colts do have a good offensive line, though.
They do,
but
their offensive line is very good. But I don't think it's as good as the Patriots.
I like Belichick's because Belichick is a secondary guy. I always talk about it. Belichick's scheming against Wentz. I do like that matchup versus Wentz getting in his head, kind of mixing up a little bit. Yep. Wentz is not the most mature quarterback. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's a very talented guy. But I think Belichick can outsmart him. That's all I'm trying to say. He's a good player. I don't want to throw him under, I'm trying to throw shade at him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hear you. So let's move it over onto the defensive side of the football, and we got two key defensive guys for the Patriots are coming back off of the old. One of them's coming back off the old C-19 list, and one is coming back from injured reserve. So it's huge. We're getting Kyle Duggar back off of the C-19 reserve list, and we are getting Josh Uche back off of injured reserve. So both of those guys, Kyle Duggar's a big one. That's a big one on D to help in the secondary and help with the run, help stop the run, because he is a very good open field tackler for the Pats. So that's a big one. So those two guys are coming back. Another kind of thing, if anybody from Pats Nation didn't hear, Adrian Phillips did not tear his ACL. It's like a grade 3 knee sprain. It's really bad. It's bad. But he is considered day to day. But the good thing is there's no ligament damage. No, he did not tear his ACL. That was confirmed via MRI. So that's a good thing. And hopefully
give him some time to recover. Be ready for the playoffs.
Hopefully he'll recover in time for the playoff run. But that's a good thing though. He didn't, no ligament damage was done in that one. For the D, they're gonna need to get pressure on Wentz without blitzing him. The defense, the interior defensive line has got to come to play. Barmore, Lawrence Guy, those two guys have got to Devon Gotcha, the big boys in the middle have got to come to play. They have got to clog that up, and because our defensive we're good at containing the edge. We have been able to contain the edge on D very well. So if they can clog the middle up and make Taylor have to try and bounce it to the outside, running east and west will get you nowhere. You know what I mean? Taylor can run all he wants, east and west.
It's good for a trick play.
Going north and south. So if they can clog that middle up, we'll be okay. That's the first thing. They gotta be able to stop the run. And that leads into the next point is if you make the Colts one-dimensional and you put the ball in Carson Wentz's hands 40 times, I do think he's going to throw 1 or 2 picks. I think he's that type of a quarterback where if he has to throw 40 times, he's he's going to throw a pick or two, and it's going to be in a bad spot too. Like it'll give the Patriots a short field or something. Like let's say he throws one and the Pats are up 7-0 and he throws a bad pick. It's something like that is absolutely capable of happening if they make him one-dimensional. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. He's the type of guy where, and I credit him for this because it's probably how I'd be if I was in the NFL too, if I had, God willing. He's the type of guy where he wants to make the best play. He wants to make that winning play. You know what? Sometimes for him it works. He is talented. I would never throw it, but he also sometimes throws that horrible pick, that dagger pick that just deflates your entire team. So you hate to see it, but he plays hero ball. That's what it is. It's the football version of hero ball. He wants to make the play. So if you kind of put the ball in his hands and force him to make the play, you have a good chance of a few turnovers. And it's not that and that's the thing. He could dice you though. It's one of the two ways. Either he'll throw 2 or 3 picks, or he'll dice you. He's kind of like Ben Roethlisberger in that way. Yeah. And that's the good side. The bad side, Jay Cutler. The good side, Ben Roethlisberger. That's the connection we've made. He's a good player. You know what I mean? Very good player. Hall of Famer. 2 Super Bowls. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like he get you. Belichick will get you. He's tricky. He's crafty. He's got a bunch of different schemes. And he'll throw a million different looks at you during a game. Each play can be different for Belichick. He doesn't care. If he needs to, he'll write up. He's dangerous like that. So I definitely think that you're right. The key to the game for the Patriots is to put the ball into Wentz's hands and see what happens.
And see, like I agree. Like you put it good. You said it well. Force him to make a play. You know what I mean? Like force him into making that decision. It's 3rd and 17. We're down by 10. Do I really want to throw this 20-yard out into double coverage? But like, you know what I mean? Like, make him think that he can squeeze that throw into that double coverage, and
yes, absolutely,
make him have to make a play like that.
And you can, then there's J.C. Jackson, then there's, what I mean? He's ready for you. Belichick has got somebody. It's like the spider, the fly, man. He's got a trap. He's got a million traps for you, especially if you're a down the field thrower. And that's his game. So if you play Belichick's game against him, if you play conservative ball, then you might beat Belichick. You know what I mean? Take the time of possession. But that's the thing.
If you can get the ball last, if you can play conservative ball and get the ball last, you have a shot. But not a lot. But see, you have to have really good time management in order to do that. And a lot of these coaches that he's playing, he doesn't give them that opportunity. You know what I mean? He doesn't give them that opportunity to have the ball last.
Yeah, he doesn't. He dominates the time of possession. He plays the clock well. I don't think I've ever seen Belichick ever mess up. Like, I've seen a lot of coaches, including Matt Nagy, mess up down the stretch in a game.
Including Nagy.
Mess up. We see it still Mike Tomlin, and we saw Mike Tomlin and the Steelers the other night mess it up too. We see people mess up the final minutes of the game a lot. Belichick does not. He is very good at that. Oh, okay, we have 0.5 seconds left. Click, timeout. It's like he knows exactly how to play this game. So it is very interesting. It's very interesting. Belichick is he's slick. He's slick. He's got a lot of schemes.
So I have 2 guys that I think that need to perform well in this game for me. Not hope they perform well. I need, in order for the Pats to win, they need to play well, and that's Juwan
Talk about
Bentley.
Win the game or win the Super Bowl.
That's the interior line. That's the linebackers.
Oh,
Juwan Bentley and Hightower, and those are the run-stopping linebackers that we have. Those guys, the interior linebackers, have got to come to play.
Gotcha.
If Taylor gets into the second level, you better make him pay.
Yeah, like you said,
make
East
him pay
and West.
for it. If he gets through the defensive line, hit him, make him pay for it. They make him earn every inch that they're gonna get. And you know how it is, dude. When you pop someone and you send a message with a good hard hit, they might think twice about trying to do that.
There's a reason why players cover up the cameras and get in all like a scrum formation, so they can punch you right in the gut. Yeah, that's the kind of shit. It's kind cup check here real quick, see what you got. Yeah, they're trying to do anything to you. Kidney, elbow you right in the kidney. No, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to a running back. That's the thing. I always respected running backs. Running backs are the most dangerous. Man, they're just you're just getting your ass kicked every week. You're like, all right, guys, give me the ball, get my ass kicked. It's a job, man.
No
That's
doubt.
a job right there.
That is a position on the field that takes a constant beating all the time.
Especially the good running backs, like 25 a game, man. I don't care how strong and talented you are. Get your freaking butt beat. Bill, I'm going to get to that question, bro. Trust me. We will get to all of that.
So, JD, with all that being said, and then so backtrack here. My last point would be to rattle Carson Wentz. You got to rattle his cage. If you get to him, twice or three, if you can get to him by 2 times by halftime, he's one of those quarterbacks where I think you can very easily get in his head and mess his internal clock up.
Yes. Yeah. I think you can. A lot of quarterbacks are. Even Tom Brady in the Super Bowl 2007. We just watched the Man in the Arena episode 4. It was a great watch, by the way. One of the few things on ESPN I liked. Anyway, Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, they said when we tackled him, we slammed him to the ground. That really man, if you have ever been slammed to the ground like that, you get the wind knocked out of you. It's not even like a matter of like, if you get hit enough, it's not even a matter of like, are you mentally tough enough? It's, you know what I mean? Like, is your body going to react? Can you throw? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of issues with that. So
yeah,
I definitely think if you get to Wentz, and Wentz is a guy who's experienced a lot of injuries too. So if you get to him, even if you hit his leg a little bit, you could do a lot of damage. He's scared. He's scared of this side of the ball. All of a sudden, he's leaning to the other side. You get the ghosts. You know what I mean? They talk about the ghosts for the quarterbacks in the pocket.
Yeah.
The pocket ghosts. Yeah. You got to create those, and Bill is great at that.
So JD, let's hop on the Mass Pike and head down I-90 and head into Chicago, and let's talk Bears and Vikings. Once again, this is a big game for both of you guys. You're trying to both kind of stay in the hunt for playoffs. I know you got a lot to unload on the Bears there. You got a lot of thoughts. So I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you and just get them out, man. Get your thought. I want to hear what you got, because this have a lot. Divisional game. This is a divisional game, and it's a big game, man. So I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I just watched both of them play like very closely. I was, I watched start to finish both of those games, so I know exactly what to expect. Really quick though, yeah. Bill asked the question: do you think Justin Fields can outplay Kirk Cousins? So I'll just talk about that for a second. I'm not going to talk about the skill positions yet, but so like outplay Kirk Cousins, sure he could. It's talent, he's definitely talented, but this is going to be a game where, again, just like last week, we're looking at the future because the season is lost. We're not going to the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. But who are we in this division? Because it is a division game, and the division games matter the most. You cannot lose to the Lions. Okay, we didn't lose to the Lions. We did lose to the Packers, but we kicked the crap out of them for a good 3 quarters. And I'm not saying it's a moral victory, because it's not. We straight up lost. The defense played like garbage. They couldn't touch Aaron Rodgers, and I'm pretty sure I said that would happen because we didn't have Khalil Mack, and the only guy that's ever been able to get to Aaron Rodgers in the last 8 years has been Khalil Mack. So without Khalil Mack, I don't care who you throw at him, he's not going down. Khalil Mack was the guy. Even with a broken foot, Rodgers kicked the shit out of the Bears. So we'll talk about that later. But anyway, the Vikings showed a lot against the Steelers. They showed that they are explosive on offense. They also showed that they kind of are right when they get a lead, they get way too comfortable, way too fast, especially on defense. Holy crap. They are the most undisciplined defense I've seen since probably the Lions this year. So yes, Justin Fields, especially after playing the Packers defense, which I'm pretty sure is still top 10 if I'm right, or at least it's in the top half of the league. It's a good defense. After playing that defense, I don't even know where the Vikings are. They could even be good, but last week they were bad. They were very undisciplined. All I'm going to judge is that game. And yeah, Justin Fields could definitely play well. The pressure wasn't that great on Ben. They had so many penalty yards the Pittsburgh Steelers did in the first 2.5 quarters, they were basically like begging the Vikings to score. They're like, please put this in the end zone. Please, I'm going to get really mad if you don't put this in the end zone. And they just would not cease like to give the Pittsburgh Steelers played like hot garbage last week. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Bears versus Vikings. I don't know if Mac is back. If he is, I think we're going to dominate this game. If he's not, I think we'll still win. I think that it could be the game where Justin Fields is his coming out party. Justin Fields played really, really good. He played really, really good against the Packers. I watched every throw like 10, 12 times. He played really good, man. First of all, I'm going to get to this in a second. Allen Robinson played like crap, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. What do you think of the Vikings and Bears? Let's break that one down really quick. I think as long as we can control Cook, this is the last thing I'm going to say. As long as we can control Cook's explosive running, we'll have a chance because Kirk Cousins is crap. But anyway, what do you think about that?
I definitely agree with you. You have to like we said about Carson Wentz. Kind of the same deal with Kirk Cousins. Cousins is an explosive thrower. Can he throw down the field and can he stretch the field? Absolutely. And can he throw it? Can he throw an accurate deep ball? Yep. But guess what? He's also going to try and squeeze that ball into triple coverage, probably more than twice in a game. So you can, if the Bears defense can capitalize on some of those that Cousins has a gunslinger mentality. He kind of has the same mentality that Brett Favre had, just kind of heave it up there and let your receiver go get it. And that can be great if you can do that accurately. But I
think he has really good receivers too. Like I feel like he's limited to his talent. Don't you think? Like when he doesn't have a good receiver, he kind of sucks. And then I don't know. That's just how I see it. Like when he doesn't have a good running back, he sucks. But if he has good teammates,
he's one of those guys that's not afraid to take risks. And
that's true.
He's just
throwing the ball around.
One of those quarterbacks that's not afraid to take a risk. But at the same time, look, that's great because it's confidence and it shows that you're not afraid to throw the ball down the field. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you got to know the limit of that. Don't try and thread the needle into double or triple coverage. Like just throw that ball out of bounds instead of what I mean.
He did throw the game away pretty hard.
That's what I mean, and I think the Bears defense can absolutely capitalize on that. So I agree with you on that front. If the Bears can make the Vikings one-dimensional, it's curtains. It's curtains for them.
If we can make him one, if we can kind of take Cook out of it a little bit. Roquan Smith is one of the better middle linebackers in the league. Somebody said in the chat, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said earlier that I'm just going to read it really quick. I'll make sure I get it right. Yeah, Big Ben got sacked a lot. Yeah, but Big Ben's a statue, man. That's the way I see it. Like he's kind of like a statue, so of course he's going to get sacked a lot. His center couldn't even snap the ball. You know what I mean? Like that was awful. So the Steelers, that was a terrible game. That was a terrible game. Like from both teams, they were both just awful. They didn't execute the most basic things at all. And then Chase Claypool, we could talk about that for an hour. Probably he's a freaking idiot. It celebrated when there was 12 seconds left. He wasted an entire down probably celebrating because he's a dumbass. Wow, that was really dumb. And everyone criticized him for it, deservedly so.
So let me get this from you, right? Let me get this from you, right? So here on the offensive side of the ball, here's what I got, and I want to hear your kind of breakdown too. And what you think. So the first and foremost is the best way to protect Justin Fields at this point is to get him out of the pocket, roll him out.
Yes.
Let him throw on the run. Let him, roll him away from pressure, get him out of the pocket, get him moving because the offensive line just isn't there for him to stand in a pocket and throw. It's not there yet. So you're going to have to find ways to, if you're going to throw, you're going to have to find ways to throw effectively. And to me, that's throwing on the move.
I would agree with that 100%. He is much better on the run. Whenever he has his legs, he can juke. He gets people very loose on their feet, as we saw last week against the Packers. He had probably like 8 to 9 missed tackles. He was incredible at that. He's very Russell Wilson like. He rolls out, he moves around, he slides, he looks for a throw, and then he decides if he wants to run or not. He's very smart player. I'm excited for him, and also I think that's the only way we can win any with this offensive line. You're right, we can't do anything, so you might as well just roll them out every freaking play.
Well, if you're gonna throw, that's how I would throw is you got to get him, because in the pocket he just doesn't have the time to read the D. At least if he's rolling out, he can watch what's happening in front of him. You know what I mean? He can see what's happening in front of him a little longer than just standing in a pocket for 2 seconds. Now he's got 3.5. If he rolls out, he's got 3.5. That extra 3/4 of a second can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
The next
no
one
question.
the next kind of point I had was going back to the Vikings defenses. I think the Bears can take their shots. Take your shots down the field.
Yes.
Fields has got the arm to do it. And I think the Vikings secondary is inexperienced enough where you guys can absolutely hit some of those 30, 40-yard throws with, down the sidelines or a double move. I think it's absolutely possible plausible that you guys that the Bears should take their shots down the field when they see it. When they see it's open, absolutely go for it. What do you think?
Throw 50 times a game for all I care. This entire season is a wash. So this entire season now, I've said it a few times now or a few times in the last like 5 episodes, that since we kind of fell out of playoff position or hopeful position basically, and we kind of lost the culture, which I'm going to talk about that very soon. But because of that, it's all about Justin Fields to me. Everything's about Justin Fields. Whatever Justin Fields wants to do, that's what I want to do. If Justin Fields wants to run the ball and do play action, I want to run the ball and do play action. If Justin Fields wants to do from shotgun, I would like to do from shotgun. If he wants to, I want to make Justin Fields as comfortable in Chicago as people make their franchise quarterback, because we've never had a franchise quarterback. Let's be real. We've never had a franchise quarterback since the 40s, since World War II. So we need to make him as comfortable as possible. And yeah, if that means throwing 30, 40 times, do it, man. Take as many shots down the field. I don't care if you throw as many interceptions. You can throw 10 interceptions
like you
tomorrow.
said, it's I'm in 100% agreement with you. It's at this point, we just need Justin Fields to progress as an NFL quarterback. That's what the season's about.
All of these are just practice reps. All of it for next season. Because next season, we're coming out hard, dude. Super Bowl for sure. Like, guaranteed. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to win the whole division, 14 and whatever, 3 or whatever it's going to be, dude. It's going to be killer. Justin Fields, MVP, second year. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
But that's you're right though. The future for like you guys do finally now have a quarterback that has a ceiling that is that high. You have a franchise. You have your franchise guy. You just need you need first and foremost in the offseason, go after an offensive line, and then go from there. But so definitely. another point offensively that I thought I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on our Montgomery is a playmaker, dude. He is a playmaker and a force on the field. My next kind of note would be get him the ball in the passing game and get him into some space and let him, he's a shifty guy. So
that'd be interesting.
So my like I said, my next note would be is get Montgomery involved in the passing game as well. Dump it off to him and let him get the yak, man. Let him get those 3, 4, 5 yards after the catch, because he can.
Make him an all-purpose back. No, I'm down for it, man. I want them to try everything. I want you to throw the kitchens. I want Matt Nagy to prove that he deserves this job next year. I want him to just throw the kitchen sink at people. I want them to go like 50. That's the thing. Like, I'm not mad if we get into a draft. Well, that's the thing. We don't have our draft picks. this year. So we might as well. We don't have our first round draft pick. At least we have the second round pick. I just remember that and found that out the other. I was reminded of that. I was like disgustingly reminded of that. So yeah, dude, go all out, dude. Score 50 points. Do whatever it takes, bro. I don't care what happens. I just want them to try everything. If Montgomery wants the ball more in the middle of the field or in the outside or something like that, dude, give it to him. I want the young guys, Montgomery and dude. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, I want the young guys to be really happy. Allen Robinson, you can cut him. You can cut him after last week.
Yeah, we'll get into him a little later in the show. We'll
talk
get
about
into him a little later in the show because he's going to be an interesting talking point later on. So the last kind of thing that I had written down for the offensive side of the football for the Bears is attack, man. Go. I want to see them come out, and I don't want to see Nagy be. I don't want to see Matt Nagy and the Bears play not to lose. Go after Minnesota. Minnesota's on the you know what I mean?
100%.
You can attack that defense. There are weaknesses and mismatches all over the field for the Bears to exploit, and they need to put their foot on the gas pedal and I would come out and absolutely go right after them. Be aggressive in the play calling, take your shots down the field and go at it. If you can get Minnesota down 10, that's quick. That's going to bode well for you guys.
I 100% agree with that. And I'm glad you said that specific thing that we need to play not to lose, because here's the thing. I truly feel this, and I'm pretty sure I texted you this at some point. It was the second drive for the Bears. We were down at the 35? We're at the 35 or something like that. Or no, maybe the 40. We're at the 35 or the 40, right? And this is against the Packers. The Packers, like Green Bay, you know what I mean? Like the rivalry 100 years. Anyway, it's against the Packers, and he decides to punt. We're at our own, we're at their 40, and he wants to punt early in the game. Goose eggs. I'm pretty sure we had a field goal. Yeah, 3-0. He wants to punt. Dude, Belichick would have gone for it. In that situation, he would have gone for it. Against the rivalry, I guarantee it. Good coaches would have gone for it. But Nagy really disappointed me there, dude. And also, here's another thing. That he was hoping to do that, right? To pin them deep, right? In the 5-yard line. No, he didn't do that. He got a touchback. So they ended up only getting 20 yards. You basically gave them the ball at the 20 when you could have just gone for it.
Well, that's what I mean. It's only a 20. It's like a 20-yard difference. So you might as well. You might as well at that point. You might as well go for it and give it a try.
That's playing not to lose, like you said. That's we'll pin him deep. We'll pin him deep, but you didn't. So you could have gone for it. You could have gone for a 55-yard field goal or it would have been like a 60-yard field goal. It would have been points. But he didn't go for it because he's not aggressive, because I think he plays not to lose. And that's a problem, like you said. So,
but that's kind of all. That's all I had on the. Do you want to add anything else? That's all I could come up with on the offensive side. Do you want to add anything else to that?
Well, I definitely want to talk about the Bears culture. The offensive side, yeah, I could talk about Justin Fields for a whole hour.
Let's run through the defense, and then let's run through the D, and then I'll hand it over to you, because
all right. That's a good idea.
The Bears do got issues, and we're going to kind of dive into that a little bit, because I know you've wanted to talk you've wanted to talk about that for a while, because it's a problem now.
We've been talking about it, but exactly.
So let's first off, let's go to the defense first, and then we'll get into that next. On the defensive side of the ball, the first one I think you're going to like, and I put unleash Roquan Smith. Let him blitz. Just let him be him.
Roquan Smith has to be attached to Cook. That's it. Wherever Cook goes, Roquan goes. That's to me, that's how you win. That's what Urlacher would do with Adrian Peterson. Urlacher would be like, all right, let's go. And
yeah,
bro, that's what Roquan's that guy. He's our Urlacher. So yeah, Roquan needs to take up that mantle, take over this game. You are not running for 200 yards. You're not even running for 100, bro. I'll give you 60. How about 60? You can take 60, and that's it. That's it. If you believe Cook to 60, put some pressure on Cousins, bro, this game's a wrap. We got this.
So
this game's a wrap.
the funny part is I only had 3 notes on D. Unleash Roquan Smith, blitz the hell out of Kirk Cousins, and stop. That's it. That's it.
Check.
Hell out of Kirk Cousins and stop the run. Those are the only 3 things think they would realistically need to do on the defensive side, because I think the back end of the Chicago D is good enough to contain the back end of the Chicago D is good enough to slow down the passing game of the Vikings.
Well, if you take away Justin Jefferson, then Kirk Cousins will be effed. I mean, if you take away Jefferson, it's over, I think. Well, I guess he's got Thielen, but
I think Johnson with help can do that. You double Jefferson. If the game plan is double, this is what I would do. I would take Johnson with help over the top and say, we're taking Justin Jefferson away from you, and you're going to have to beat us with somebody else. Go for it, Kirk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Kirk and Thielen then. That's it. Go try to win the game that way. We got good linebackers. So
but that's what I mean. I think the back end of the Chicago D is good enough to do that. I really do.
Absolutely. And if we can get our offense going, get them playing from behind, I don't think that Thielen will be adequate enough. So it'll be interesting to see what Desai has for the Vikings. It'll be interesting to see what kind of game plan he has. Maybe it'll be off. Maybe he won't do this spy thing. I'm a Lovie Smith guy. I grew up with him for like 10, 12 years. So that's how I think. You know what I mean? But I don't know what Desai is thinking.
Lovie was a defensive genius, man. I
love Lovie.
You want to talk about a defensive I love Bill Belichick because I love defensive-minded coaches. You know what I mean?
I understood Lovie.
Defense wins championships. Offense might win games, but defense wins titles.
Lovie, everything he did, I was like, all right, good job, Lovie. Yeah, good job. Every time Nagy does something weird, I'm just like, what are you doing, Nagy? Like for every creative play that Nagy puts together and every, nice little run game he puts together from time to time, he has some bad times too, a lot of them. So yeah, I don't know. And also that not going for it.
Well, let's dive into this, man. There's I had asked you probably 2 or 3 episodes ago to kind of give me like the state of the Bears. And you unloaded all that baggage. There was a lot of it, man. There was a lot going on. So I kind of want to ask you the same question because it's been like 4 weeks now, or probably 4 episodes since we talked, and there's issues, man. There's issues. So I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you kind of talk about the culture that's or what the Bears are kind of dealing with right now. So
there's good news, bro. There's a lot of good news, actually. There's a lot of good news. Like right now, we're kind of a sinking ship, but on that sinking ship,
how is that good news that you're a sinking ship?
I'll get to it. I'll explain. It's not, you people in Boston would never understand what that's like. You guys are just like chilling in a castle or something at this point, built by your own golden trophies. But over here in Chicago, we have sinking ships sometimes. We have to rebuild them. Anyway, so we have this life raft and stuff. We got Justin Fields on the life raft. We got Jalen Johnson. We got like 10 other guys on the life raft. And the captain of the ship, Ted Phillips, has said, he's come out and said, I think it was was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Ted Phillips has decided that after the season, this will be his final season. So Ted Phillips, instead of firing Matt Nagy, this is the biggest news the Bears have had in a long time. And it's very interesting. It's very similar to when Gar Pax finally was fired. And I don't know if it'll be the same way. Obviously, we've had a lot of success since then, or at least this year. Anyway, Ted Phillips has said, okay, I'm not going to fire Matt Nagy. I'm not going to fire Ryan Pace. I'm going to fire myself. He has done the Japanese, what do you call it again? The thing where it's like, and then he's just going to kill himself. Oh, I can't hear you.
The samurai, he fell on his sword for the team.
Yes, he has decided, Ted Phillips. You know what? And you know what, Ted Phillips? I respect that. I really do, because you know what? You had some good times. You've had some bad times in the since I've watched football. You've been one of them. No, I think there's one. Anyway, it doesn't matter, Jerry. It doesn't matter. Ted Phillips has been around for a while. He's had good times. He's had bad times. But this is the time to say you don't need life. Okay, anyway. this is the time to say, I failed. Hire someone else to evaluate the situation, decide to keep Matt Nagy, decide to keep Ryan Pace, or decide to fire them, because he will not do it. And this is pretty much it for him. He's leaving. Seppuku, thank you so much, Cavs family. That seriously, thank you. That's awesome. Ted Phillips has committed seppuku. He has decided to enact the seppuku, if that's how you say it, cut his stomach and kill himself because he's failed. And I respect it. So that's all I have to say. That's great news. We have a lot to work with for this next person, whoever they hire to come in, evaluate the situation. We have a nice franchise quarterback to work with for the first time ever. But just the salary cap situation finally made it so Ted Phillips is like, all right, I can't handle this job. Clearly, I'm done. And I think that's honestly the greatest, to be honest, that's like the greatest thing that could happen right now. That is like when the Bulls fired Garpax. It's like, all right, this has failed for a really, really long time. Cut the cord. It's over. Just move on. So now the Bears are going to get a new president. They're going to decide if they're probably going to move to that new place. They probably want a new president for the new place. So it'll be very interesting what happens. What do you think of the news of Ted Phillips deciding that after the season he is done?
I was actually going to bring that up to you, and I kind of respect him for it. You know what I mean? I kind of respect him for it. You know, he said, for continuity's sake, I'm not gonna break the the GM and the coach up just yet. I'm gonna take myself out of the equation and see if it
he failed.
Yeah, it's in a way, it's kind of like, I kind of respect it, because it's like he admitted, I can't fix it. I don't know what to do. And he said, you need to bring somebody else in that can.
Yes. And exactly. And Johnny C says, Bears are facing talent versus time. They're losing on both ends, in my opinion. Bring on the lifeboats, I guess. And that's the thing. That's why I say I don't even know if we can keep Khalil Mack. I know we can't keep Akeem Hicks after this. I don't know if we can keep our core.
Hicks is the one. If I was the Chicago Bears, Hakeem Hicks, right? He would be the one that I would be seriously taking phone calls on and offers on.
Well, I think he's unrestricted.
You could get a very, very good offensive lineman for him.
I would love that. I mean, if they could package a deal to send Mack and Hicks somewhere and get like a bunch of draft picks, really rebuild the team for real this time, that would be really great. But at the same time, I'd love to keep Khalil Mack or Akeem Hicks or both of them. I just don't think that we're going to be able to afford to, because somebody's going to pay them a hefty rent, or somebody's going to pay Hicks a hefty ransom.
And here's the other thing too. Roquan Smith is going to demand a boat. You want to talk about somebody that's going to be, asking for the Brinks truck to get backed up for him. Roquan Smith is going to be that dude.
I would rather pay Roquan Smith than Khalil Mack, and I love Khalil Mack. I literally do. I think he's one of the best players we've had. But at the same time, Roquan Smith is younger. He's faster. He plays a more important position. And the Bears have always been known for their run-stopping defense. Khalil Mack is as great as a premium pass rusher is. That's not what we're known for necessarily. I mean, I guess we are, but
listen, versatility is everything. Roquan Smith is more versatile than Khalil Mack. Mack is an expert at one thing.
He's so good.
Khalil Mack,
I'd love to keep him.
Khalil Mack is an expert at one thing: rushing the passer and getting home and disrupting things in the backfield, right? Yeah. Roquan Smith can do a little bit of everything. Can he rush the passer as good as Khalil? No. But can he do it successfully? Yup. Can he cover? Yup. Can he run sideline to sideline and stretch plays out? Is he athletic enough to do that? Yup.
Chad Greenway. A better Chad Greenway is what Roquan Smith reminds me of right now. More athletic Chad Greenway. And when I say that, it's like Jared Allen is the Khalil Mack. And you look at when the Vikings got rid of Jared Allen, they made a playoff run. So it's like, you look at all those things, it's like you need certain things, and certain things are a luxury. And that's kind of where we're at with the Bears. I would love if we could cut a lot of other people, like literally just strip the roster down and keep Mack and Smith. That'd be really nice. And all the young guys. That would be the ideal situation. That way you could continue to sign people and you get some draft picks back. I think Hicks is like 99% gone. And it's sad, but he definitely is somebody we need to move on from. We have a lot of defensive tackles, and he's going to ask for a lot of money. There's no reason to really do that. Anyway, it's the defense. It's sad to see him go, but they never really panned out the way that Ryan Pace intended. He signed all these guys, even Robert Quinn. Like he's really good. He's a really, really good player, but all of them just never really completely panned out. They never really became a dominant defense like they wanted. Trevathan never became a dominant linebacker, and now you just kind of have a few good pieces that you need to work with. The life raft or the lifeboats. Bring on the lifeboats, Johnny C says. Yeah, bring them on. Bring in the ones that matter and junk the rest of them.
I think the rebuild is coming, though. I think a real, true, like there's about 4 to 6 guys that I think are going to be your young core of the team. Well, I'm talking like, I mean, like there's like 8 guys in total that are going to be the young core of that team. And outside of that, it's outside of those 8, they should be taking phone calls on everyone.
I agree. Like for instance, I think that the fact that you paid Nick Foles $9 million this year and you didn't get any more.
Imagine $9 million at the trade deadline, what they could do.
It's just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me.
Dude, you could get a high to mid-level offensive lineman for that. You know what I mean? You could get a mid-range offensive lineman for that, for $9 million, at least for one season.
It's unreal. They really mishandled it, and that's why Ted Phillips just decided, whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
the Japanese
just take himself out of the. I respect it though. I do. It's
the best thing that you could do in that situation. The last thing I want to talk about with the Bears, though, I have to talk about it. I have to bring it up.
Go for it.
Allen Robinson, dude.
Oh, this is yes. You had text this to me in the script notes. I want to hear about this. What's the deal with him?
So there was a play where Justin Fields rolled out and Allen Robinson was kind of open, but Justin Fields didn't want to throw it. He wanted to run. And instead of blocking, Allen Robinson just keeps running nonchalantly, just kind of rolls his eyes in his head like a B word, bro, like a true B word. I don't want to just drop language and stuff, but man, he was in Cavs family. I could never forget about Brian Urlacher, but Allen Robinson needs to get cut. He makes too much money and he is bad for the culture. If other receivers see that's toxic. You have to cut him right now. He is nothing to us. There's no reason to have him. Give him to the Patriots right now for a draft pick. Right now. Give him to the Patriots. We'll take a 3rd round pick from you. 4th round pick. I don't give a shit. Take him. We don't need this shit. You know what he'll do with the Patriots? Hey, Bill, what can I do for you? Because he's a freaking little
pretty much
bitch. And that's how receivers are. They're divas, man. So he'll get to Bill, he'll kiss his ass, or he'll get to Tom and he'll kiss his ass or somebody else. And oh my God,
up, though. I really, if you guys cut him,
you don't block for the rookie. You don't block for the rookie quarterback. You're cut.
Yeah.
You're cut.
Yeah.
You're cut. He almost got his head torn off.
That goes to show that he's out for himself. He's out for himself, not the team.
Exactly. Like, who even wants that? Honestly, that's toxic. In my opinion, I wouldn't touch that if I was Bill Belichick. Like, that's the thing. You see that, it's like, how can I even trade you now? You're a little man. That made me mad.
That's a cop out. Like, you can't do that. Like, you got to block for the dude.
You're right, running, Cavs family.
If he's running, you gotta block for it.
I'm trying really hard, Cavs family, to not curse, but I'm bad at it.
Bitch.
Yeah. I should just drop the B word. It doesn't matter. Or not drop any. I need to get better. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, we're getting pretty far down the rabbit hole here. Bears need a quarterback that can run their offense and coach that can see it through. Yeah, it sucks.
So you got anything else?
No, that's it. We need a total change of culture. The ship is sinking. You got all the metaphors. Yeah, it's
no
lifeboat.
Yeah. But like you said, you have your core. You have your core 8 to 10. You probably have 8 guys on that team that are going to be the young leadership in the locker room.
Darnell Mooney, Jalen Johnson, hopefully Eddie Jackson. He's kind of roller coaster.
I think Jackson is getting better. It's just
Roquan.
Definitely not as good as Johnson. It's not as fast as Johnson was.
And I'd like to keep Mac too. If we can just keep Mac, and that's our only guy that we pay, and just cut the rest of everybody that's making over $5 million, just get them off the roster, especially Allen Robinson.
Because you guys will be able to find offensive and defensive linemen in this year's draft because it's wicked heavy in both.
I really hope so. Yeah, we can't afford Akeem Hicks. It is what it is. We're not going to pay him. Sorry.
So let's stay in Chicago, but we're going to change pace here, and we're going to change sports. So we're going to talk about the Bulls next. They are currently sitting in second place in the conference with a 17-10 record.
Not bad.
First of all, what are your thoughts on that? Sitting in second place in the conference right now.
I would say it's nice. It is very good. I think that the culture of the Bulls now is we're going to win games. We're going to win a lot of games, and we're going to continuously win games, and there's a lot of chemistry there. But I worry about down the stretch. I worry about elite talent. I worry about a Giannis, an Embiid, a Trae Young. I worry about that stuff. I want to see what I'm waiting to see, and what I'm excited for, what I'm really excited for, actually, what I'm ecstatic for, is the Bulls in the playoffs. I want to see Lonzo Ball against Trae Young. I want to see how he can guard him. That's what I'm excited for. So I would love. I hope this isn't just a flash. You know what I mean? I wanted to see it consistent. It looks consistent. It looks sustainable.
See, that was my next question to you. Would be this is great right now. Can they sustain this level of play though? Because they're playing really good, man. This is for Bulls fans. I can only like the hype for the Bulls fans. It must be pretty high because they haven't seen a team play together like this in a long time.
Well, Vucevic alone, he took the Magic with very little talent to the playoffs, 7th seed. So if I remember right, 7th or 8th, one of those two. He took it to a high seed, and he's a young guy. He's only like 27, 28. He's Vucevic? In the prime. Yeah, Vucevic? The center.
He's 31, dude.
Oh, he is older than I thought. Okay, maybe that was a few years ago.
I got a question. I got to talk to you about him a little later on in this too. I got a few questions on him.
He's not that young.
But yeah, so do you
is it
think
sustainable?
It's sustainable? Do you think
I think so. Well, the reason why I brought up Vucevic is because the fact that he alone brought a team to the playoffs, and he's sacrificing stats and shots and time with the ball for others, is a really, really good thing. Because in basketball, it's always good to, when you reduce your talent, Kevin Love, when you reduce your talent, Chris Bosh, when you reduce your talent, Ray Allen in some cases, when you reduce your talent, Shane Battier, rather than when you're just like sitting there hogging the ball like Russell Westbrook and Harden and stuff like that. When you Chris Paul is a very good example of, hey, I don't need to score that much. You score, you're wide open, you're firing, you're on fire. So you only draw the defenders when you need to get yourself dangerous and then get others involved. The fact that Vucevic has taken less and they're doing more is a very good sign. That's why I think it could be sustainable. And not to mention the incredible talent on the wings. The wings talent and the guard talent, I mean, forget about it. It's as good as anybody.
I want to know what that shows me, that the Bulls, that you want to know what the number one thing that shows me about Chicago? They're buying in. They have bought in. They have bought into the system. They are buying into the unselfish play. And that's with you, when you put talent like that together and you put an attitude like that together, that's going to be a hard team to beat in the playoffs because they're playing for each other and not for their own stats.
Absolutely. When you play to win, then you just let the stats fall as they come. And the fact that, I'll talk about that in a second, but the fact that everyone is buying in, The fact that everybody is buying in, they don't care about stats. Sometimes Lonzo can drop 30. Sometimes Levine can drop 30. Sometimes Rosen and other people can drop 30. It doesn't matter who drops 30. All that matters is you win the game. And I think that down the stretch, there is going to be a time when superstar power matters. I want to see who steps up in that moment. I want to see who wants the ball. Is it Levine? Is it Ball? Is it both of them? I would love to see that moment, basically.
No, definitely. Who's gonna step up in that big moment and make a shot?
Or late season,
make a shot when it counts. Yep.
Big times. And Ball has done it twice already. I think he has 2 game-winning shots. So maybe it is Lonzo Ball. Maybe he's our guy. I don't know, but there's going to be one guy that's going to step up, and they have a lot of really good guys that could. So it's exciting. Very exciting.
So you had mentioned Nick Vucevic. Let's kind of just take a second and talk about him.
Yeah.
The stability that he has created under the rim, and like you said, not only playing his game, being under the rim and giving the Bulls second chances, and being that hard to move guy under the rim, and the rim protector at the same time as well. He's also 31 years old, man. I didn't realize that. I mean, I would say at most you're probably going to get 3, maybe 2 to 3 more seasons of good, let's call it 3, right? Let's say he plays like this for 3 more seasons.
Pau Gasol was productive until about 37.
Was he? So that's my other question. Is my
6 years?
My other question would be: is the 31? Do you think that's old for him, or do you think he could sustain that for a couple?
Well, what's exciting is I could see him taking less money. Because here's the thing: if you are the third option on your team, people probably, and you're 35, people probably won't pay you that much money. So the Bulls down the stretch, once his contract runs out, we could probably renew him for half of what he costs right now. So that's exciting. That's an exciting prospect to have a guy buy in to a culture, create a culture around like him and a couple other guys, give the other guys the money because they're more talented and they're younger and they're going to be around longer and they're going to sustain longer and they're going to do more. And just take a little bit less money, a little bit more than what you can make in Europe. Give them like maybe 11 million, 12 million, 15, something like that. Well, there's going to be a new money CBA, so even 20 might be reasonable. But regardless, you look at that, and it's like if you have that guy and he buys in, he loves the team, he could stick around for cheap. I mean, I could see that happening for sure. So I like him. I think he's a good piece.
Definitely. No,
even if he's old.
And you want to know what I think a massive factor in the Vucevic thing is going to be when it comes to like re-upping his contract? If they're winning, he's going to want to stay. Exactly. If they're winning a lot and they're a consistent playoff team, he's going to want to stay. Do you think he's going to want to go to another crap bag team like the Magic again? No, he's going to want to stay in Chicago. If they're winning and winning regularly and making regular playoff appearances and making deep playoff runs, he's going to want to stay for that discounted rate, and he won't mind doing it either.
Yeah, and if he, another thing to factor in with that is that if he's not being relied upon, like you said, if he doesn't want to go to a crap bag team, if he's not being relied upon as the number one option all the time, his career could extend longer. He could age like Tim Duncan. He could be a 39-year-old at this point. So, or a 39-year-old productive player. Like, who knows what we could do in the next couple of years. But it's very exciting for Vucevic. I'm excited to have him on board with this huge core. It's like 5 guys that we can keep on. It's exciting.
And I think that just to go back to like the whole buy-in, it's a team-wide thing. The whole team has bought in, and I think that's a massive reason why the success, why they've been able to make that jump to be, like it's just the buy-in factor. It's there.
Absolutely. If you don't buy in to the culture, then your team's just going to be in a tailspin the whole time. So yeah. I'm glad the Bulls have a culture.
I have 2 more kind of little snippets that I want to get your thoughts on here. So DeMar DeRozan, we talked about him a while back, and just the the career resurgence that he's had, and like, man, did he get new life breathed back into him. He's averaging 26, 6, and 5 on the season. I want to ask you one question now. Does that put him in the running for MVP?
I maybe the top 10. I wouldn't say top 5 or anything like that. I'd put Lonzo Ball a little bit higher than him, maybe even Zach LaVine. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the PER and everything, all the breakdown, the statistics, because honestly, they just throw the ball around. They don't care who scores, so it's hard to see who really is the most valuable player of that team. But it is usually best player, best team, depending on all that stuff. And like when Steph Curry, they didn't consider that Klay Thompson was playing really, really well that year when they gave it to him unanimously. So yeah, you would have to look at who is the engine, who's the driving force of the winning. DeMar DeRozan, I think that he's incredibly talented. I think that he has a lot to offer, and he is something that honestly no other team really has, a mid-range specialist of his caliber. He might be the best in the game. Lonzo Ball seems to think he is, and he gets him open a lot, and his stats reflect how great he how great he is. And honestly, what I would really look for, most improved player award, because he's really, he's come a long way. He kind of fell off a little bit for a while with the 3-point game. And once it evolved, and he went to he kind of had a couple down years, injured years, Toronto, then he went to the Spurs. He had a few decent games, but ultimately he really wasn't as good as he is with the Bulls now. He's very consistent, and it's very sustainable. But he's in the conversation. I want to see how it all shakes out 50 games in, though. He's in the conversation for right now. I've
just been in shock at the career resurgence he's had. Like, people thought he was dead and buried and gone, like he was done for,
yeah.
But it's amazing what sometimes just a change of scenery can do for a guy, just to have a clean slate and to kind of rebuild your reputation. Because to me, Bulls fans probably love the dude. He's played phenomenal for you guys.
Oh, he's a monster. He's great. And I love having, you got LaVine, who's a true analytical scorer, like an inside out, shoot a three. He can really do anything, but he's a really shoot a three, aims for the threes and aims for the dunks. And then you got DeRozan, who can just dominate the interior of the 15 feet, rather, is what I should say, the paint. Yeah. But outside the paint as well. He's such a great mid-range player. So we have it all, man. We have it all in Chicago. It's great. We have it all.
No doubt, man. It's like I said, the Bulls. Me and you had talked about it very early on in the early episodes that the Bulls were gonna. We thought that they had the capability to really surprise people with how they were gonna come out and play. And it started off really well, and they're sustaining it. My last thing I heard and read this, and I just wanted to point it out to you. Billy Donovan, the coach of your beloved Bulls there, said in an interview, they asked him about analytics. They asked him a question about using analytics and how they're integrated into the game today. And his answer, I think, was perfect. And it's the way it should. He answered it perfectly. And his answer was, I view analytics as a guide, but not the Bible. And that basically means, he uses them, but he's not afraid to use the eyeball test. If somebody is hot, he's going to, they get the ball. And I think that was a perfect answer to that question.
It's what you hope that all coaches, see it as. In my opinion, it's a very good way to look at it, because you don't want DeMar DeRozan shooting the 3-point shot instead of a mid-range shot, because that's not his strength. You don't want most people shooting threes. You want some people shooting threes. You want the people who can shoot threes to shoot threes. That's kind of where the analytics and the everything comes comes into play, it's like, yeah, ideally you would just dunk it and shoot threes, ideally. But now you get a basket where you can get a basket. Michael Jordan got a basket all types of ways. And I don't think Michael Jordan looked at an analytic sheet. He just got a basket. It's basketball. Johnny says he's basically saying that the Bulls are overachieving, essentially, is what he's saying. That's the fear. That's the fear, Johnny.
I don't know if they're overachieving though, because it's shown so far that if they were overachieving, I think by this point in the season it would have fallen apart already. We would have seen cracks in the foundation. And I, at least not yet, I haven't seen that. I think they're good enough to make put it this way, they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Whoever has to play them first, that is going to be a tough out.
Their strength is their depth. I think that's the exciting thing about the Bulls. They don't just get hot and rely on a few guys to score. They have a lot of guys who can score. That's what makes me think they could be sustainable. But what if people get inconsistent? I mean, that is something that I don't want to jinx them, knock on wood. Hopefully they if they do get inconsistent, then kind of redial it up. But that's kind of part of basketball. You're going to have hot streaks. You're going to have cold streaks. Hopefully we've developed a culture where we can win 50 games. That's the idea. If you can win 50 games, you've proven you're a damn good team. Yeah, and people got to mess with you.
I 100% agree with you. The 50 game, if you can win 50 games in the season, that's a pretty good basketball team.
Then I'll truly believe that the Bulls are, if they can win like at least 48 to 50 games this year, I will believe in them. And honestly, if you want to sustain the top 3 seeds, you have to win over 50 games. So we'll see what happens. I hope that the only thing, I said it before, hope the superstar talent doesn't come back to bite them. Hopefully one of these guys can step up and be our superstar.
So let's stay with basketball, JD, and let's talk about my beloved Boston Celtics. Let's head back east to the coast and back into Boston, and talk about the Celtics. So the C's have been floundering right around 500 this year. They're up and down. They haven't really been able to get a lot of. They haven't been able to stack a lot of, big win streaks up and really kind of break out. I think there's a lot of internal turmoil going on that they're kind of hiding. They say all the right things to the media, that they don't, that they all love each other and all this and that. But from just watching the games, here's the major difference that I can tell from my team to your team. Your team is unselfish and they don't care who shoots the basketball. My team is a collection of individuals playing for their own stats, not a team.
You stole my take. No, but I mean that's exactly right. They need someone to reel them in. You know what I mean? They need someone to take the reins and be the leader versus being the superstar. You need to not worry about being the superstar. You need not worry about your stats. You need a voice. That's what they need right now. I feel like ever since Horford got that big paycheck, he also doesn't really care what happens. There was some real passion with them when they took LeBron Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was a passionate squad. I don't know if it was Terry Rozier off the bench. I don't know who was the leader in that room. Was it Isaiah Thomas? I'm not sure. But the leadership seems to be gone. And as talented as they are, because they are talented, I don't know exactly what they are. I don't know who they are. Are they a three-point shooting team? Are they a finesse team? Are they a tough team? What are they? What are the Celtics? They're Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's team with a couple other good guys. That's all I know. I don't know who the Celtics are. The Bulls are a fast team. They don't give a crap who scores. They're unselfish. I don't know who the Celtics are.
And I think that's a big part of their problem too. If you want so here's my personal opinion on. I already said that to me, it's not a team. It's just a group of individuals playing for each other's stats. That's part of it. and and then you could add part of it being they just there's no chemistry, there's no buy-in there. Like there's no buy-in to the system. They just need I
don't know if they like each other.
They need something. Somebody needs to send a message to these guys that it's
they need a trade.
And they need a big trade. And I think to me it started a while back, man. When Danny Ainge had all those picks stacked up, all those picks a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago, he accrued all those picks. And instead of packaging players and picks that we had at the current time to get, let's be honest, JD, right? The NBA is a superstar driven league. If you don't have 2 stars on your team, two studs, you're not winning a title. You're just not. Your talent is not going to be good enough to win a title. This is a superstar driven league. And they just, instead of doing what they had to do to possibly form another big 3 or two legitimate studs on the team, they couldn't. They used all the picks and just picked.
Yeah, and they didn't. I don't know if they picked correctly because they don't seem to have the chemistry. You know what they're missing? You know who would have been really good? And I know I'm always bringing up Chicago stuff, but Lonzo Ball, he would have been perfect with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. He would have been the engine, like those guys.
Just feeding them the basketball all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. It would have been amazing. It's too late. We got him.
So
who else do they even have? What point guard could come in? I think I said Rajon Rondo. That's all I can think of. Who else? So I don't know. I don't know what their identity is.
So I have one more Celtics thing from you. There's not too much Celtics news, but I have one more Celtics thing here. I have 2 trades two possible trades from fansided.com that I want to get your thoughts on. Whether or not you would pull a trigger on them or not.
Okay. I like this.
So the Celtics get from the Portland Trail Blazers Robert Covington, Yusuf Nurkic, and Norman Powell. They give up Marcus Smart, Al Horford, a 2023 protected lottery pick, and another pick.
Okay, so 2 picks.
2 picks.
2 big picks.
Marcus Smart and Al Horford.
Well, if they did that, I'm thinking about it from the Portland Trailblazers perspective right now. Marcus Smart brings absolutely nothing to me, and neither does Al Horford. The Damian Lillard needs Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. He needs one of those 2 guys. Or he needs to go to the Celtics. And I think if you could trade Smart and Horford and a few picks for Lillard, I mean, give him as many picks as you freaking want. That could give you an identity. If you had Tatum, and you can put Williams down there, and maybe Nurkic and Dame. Nurkic and Dame for Horford and a bunch of picks or whatever, or whoever you want to throw in. Smart too. Just some picks or whatever. Basically, they're offloading him. So the Blazers could kind of unload. They'll probably trade McCollum too. They'll unload. They'll have a completely different roster, just like the Rockets are doing right now. Kind of pull a Rockets. And that would give the Celtics an identity. I feel like, what would it take to get Dame? Birdman's asking that question. See, that's the thing, man. What would it take to get Dame?
It would take a lot. You're probably talking 2 players, 2 and 2 picks. And one of those picks is going to have to be very high.
Romeo Langford and then a bunch of picks and then whoever you want to throw in there. I'd do that trade. Bunch of picks, Romeo Langford. Yeah.
But see, the Langford's upside to me I want to see him for one more year here and see how he does.
Hey, do you want Dame or not? I'm just
joking. I would take if that's what it came to. If Portland said we want Langford for in this package for Lillard, yeah, absolutely.
I'm just playing Portland.
Sorry, but you're off to Portland there, big guy.
Yeah, one less draft pick. That's what I'd say. I'm like, all right, well, one less draft pick, then only 2 this time. Oh, there you go.
But so here's the next one. So these are from fansided.com, guys. This is where I'm getting this. These are some proposed trades from them that the Celtics could possibly pull the trigger on. So the Celtics get from the Toronto Raptors Gary Trent Jr., Goran Dragic, and Chris Boucher, and they give up Marcus Smart and Al Horford. I kind of like that one, to be honest. I kind of like that one.
That's a good trade.
That's a good trade.
That's a good trade. That gives the Heat, that gives them a lot of depth at guard, defensive, because Goran's a little bit slower in his old age. That's good. Yeah, I like that trade.
Here's the thing:
they could use Smart.
Court vision is phenomenal.
He'd be good with the Celtics too, so he'd be the guard that they need. That's a good trade for both teams. I like that. So I would do that trade to both teams.
I would do this one with the Raptors. I don't know about the one unless Portland is offering Dame for something. That's the only reason I would. But like this one with the Raptors makes a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense because they need guard. The Celtics would get guard depth, and they would get a guy in Dragic that has excellent court vision to help feed Brown and Tatum. I think that's a very good, smart trade for them.
They definitely could use Dragic for sure. The Celtics that would be good for them. I think Dragic could be exactly what they need. Just set up the play. That's it.
All right, so let's get into. So these are just going to be some rapid fire, random thoughts here from us. We're going to just kind of rapid fire them down. We'll give you maybe a couple minutes on each, and then we will pick our winner. So stay tuned.
Oh, that's right.
Stay tuned, we need to pick the winner. Gang, for that.
Forgot about that for a second. Wow.
So stay tuned, member gang.
Stay tuned, guys. If you're a member, you better stay tuned.
If you are a member, you want to be here. And if the members aren't here, you better go find them on other people's streams and tell them to get here.
Yeah, you better pay attention right now. Whew.
All right, so let's go rapid fire here, JD, on these topics. So here we go. Their first one. Birdman, are you a member? I don't think Birdman's a member. Is Birdman a member? Anyways, all right. Back at it. So there's a realistic chance here, JD, that we could see realistic chance that Tom and Bill could fight it out for the Lombardi. With the way the Patriots are playing right now, to me, there's one team that stands in their way, and it's their old buddies, the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the only team that could legitimately slow this team down and get in their way of getting to the Super Bowl. If they beat the Chiefs, I think they're gonna do it. If they can beat Kansas City, I think they're gonna win. I think if the Patriots beat Kansas City, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say that right now. There's a realistic chance though that we could see both of those guys. My question to you is: lots of legacy on the line in that game. Lots of legacy.
Oh man!
So let's take this up a notch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are Bill Belichick and Tom Brady the best when they were together? Those 20 seasons, are they the best coach-player duo, not only in football, but in sports?
Let's think here. The only one that even comes close is right there. That's it.
Jordan and Phil.
That's the only one. But I'm going to give it to you guys. I'm going to give it to Bill and I'm going to give it to Tom. And the reason why I'm going to give it to Bill and to Tom is because they did it for 20 years, and football is a lot harder to win Super Bowls. Like superstar athletes in basketball, they have 5, 6, 10 titles sometimes. Only one person has more than 4 titles, and that's Tom Brady, and that's Bill Belichick. And they just are so much more accomplished than everyone else in their sport that you have to give it to them. You have to give it to them. They're the best. They've done it.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely. It's the most astonishing thing about the 20 seasons that Bill and Tom were together is the level of consistency that they had. How many 12, 13, 14 win seasons did they have? It's astonishing.
The question is, how many didn't they have?
The
How many
level
didn't they
of
have?
success that they had together is astonishing.
It's unprecedented in any sport. I sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say that what the bigger question is, what is the level of success, or rather, excuse me, what seasons didn't they have more than 12 wins? Like two?
I think out of 20, it was 4. So they were 16 seasons. I think they had more than 12 wins.
And what do they have? 11?
No, they went 11-5 and 9 and 11-5 and then 9-6. I think.
Well, just the fact that only
or 9
only like 20% of the game.
No, 9-6. Yeah, 9-6.
It's amazing.
And 11-5, and then they had 2 other seasons where they were hurt. But yeah, 16 out of the last 20 seasons they've had 12 plus wins.
It's amazing. There's nothing like it. There has been nothing like it. I don't know if there ever will be anything like it. You can only hope to witness something like that for 2 straight decades, just dominance. And they're still dominating going into the 3rd decade of both of them are. Tom could play till 50. Bill could coach till 75. He could. So it's interesting.
It's all in how they look at it too. Like we could still see them for quite a few seasons.
They could have a 25-year run together, and they can meet in the Super Bowl a few more times.
So
wouldn't that be nuts?
Let's talk about another really good quarterback, and there's like really good quarterback. Aaron Rodgers kind of pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes this, coming into this season, because dude, there was a lot of people out there, including high level NFL reporters that fully believed that he was out of Green Bay. He was out of there. He was leaving. He was done. If they don't win a title this year, is he realistically leaving, or would he ever leave Green Bay?
You just said it. You literally just hit the nail on the head right there. You hammered it right down. If they do not win a Super Bowl, he's gone. If that's what I believe, and I'll tell you why I believe it, because I was watching the Pat McAfee show yesterday. I was watching it yesterday, and Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. A lot of people know that if they watch the Pat McAfee show. Aaron Rodgers was asked point blank right closing I believe it was towards the end of the interview. AJ Hawk goes, "So after the season, you guys don't win, you're going to the Steelers, right?" He goes, "No comment." That's literally was his face. It was stunned disbelief that AJ Hawk would ask him in front of 45,000 people live. And then he just said no comment, because he's not going to say no, because if he does decide to go,
the Steelers should literally back every Brinks truck in the city up to that dude's backyard and be like, "What is it going to take to get you to Pittsburgh?"
Well, if Aaron Rodgers, and honestly, Pittsburgh is perfect. If Aaron Rodgers wants to be remembered like Peyton Manning's remembered, like Tom Brady's remembered, he has to go do one thing that's incredible. So even another thing too is if he did win the Super Bowl, what if he actually left anyway? What if he still went to the Pittsburgh? And here's why. Let me tell you another reason.
So they win the Super Bowl and then he just cashes out at the end and leave?
It's been real. It's been real, Green Bay. I could see that too. Because he loves the fan base. I could see all of this as being a possibility. The reason why too I thought about it is because he likes Mike Tomlin. Another reason is because Pittsburgh has a very unique opportunity to be the greatest franchise of all time, right? Because the Patriots have 6 Super Bowls. The Steelers have, I think, 5.
6.
Or they have 6. They're tied.
6, yeah.
They're tied. That's even better. That's even better than what I was thinking. Oh, it's even better. So he can go over there, win a Super Bowl for Pittsburgh with their talented team. They could kind of reload a little bit and boom, like they are in the Super Bowl hunt with Aaron freaking Rodgers and all these decent receivers, man. And then he wins the 7th Super Bowl with them. That's interesting. How old is Aaron Rodgers? He's 38, but he's playing like he's playing pretty good. So I don't think he's done anytime soon, man. I think he's aging pretty slowly. I used to think he was slowly aging, but I don't know.
No, dude, there's a lot of different scenarios that are gonna. I personally think if he does leave, it's going to take a massive amount of money, like massive.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
You're going to have to drop an offer in front of him that he literally cannot say no to.
Well, if he leaves the Packers this year, which the Packers could just get rid of him too, they don't owe him any more money or dead cap
contract's
money.
Up, right?
Yeah, it's all just kind of base salary money at this point. So he could just go sign to somebody else. He could just leave. He could just say, all right, guys, thanks. You can cut me. And then, or they'll trade him or something. I don't know. Something similar like that. I could totally see that happening. I think the Packers really don't want it to happen, though, especially after they watched Jordan Love play badly. So I don't know.
Jordan Love is not the answer. They're going to be in quarterback purgatory if he leaves.
I hope it happens. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers in the Steelers uniform.
I'd love to see it because it would create absolute chaos in the NFL.
It would be cool. I mean, he would dominate that division. Who's a better quarterback in that division?
The Pittsburgh Steelers would instantly be put at the top of that division. Instantly.
Easily. The only ones that could even compete are the Ravens, and I don't think they're consistent enough. I think Rodgers would shit on them. So
yeah. No, they would instantly own that division.
I'd love to see it, bro. I'd love to see it.
So my final little random sports topic here was probably probably one of the best basketball players of our generation that we've ever got to see. Steph Curry breaks the 3-point record. Ray Allen in the house to congratulate him.
He did it.
I haven't seen somebody with a shot like that in a long time. Like he's hitting these threes from like 35 feet now.
He's the best. He's the best shooter of all time. He's done it
have you
the
seen
longest.
Where he's taking his 3-pointers now?
Yeah.
They're from like 35 feet. It's
all the time.
It is ridiculous.
The game against the 76ers that I watched last night, or not 2 nights ago, man, that was something. It was literally like because they were talking, and the announcers were like, all right, he only needs 10 more threes to break the record. That'll be something if he really gets it or something like that. And man, Thibault and Drummond all over this guy. Curry had to pass it every single time. They were like hugging him, dude, straight up hugging him. So the NFL, the NBA, I don't think the NBA has ever respected a scorer more than they've respected Stephen Curry. They've never respected a scorer.
Something crazy to me that
never.
You had said something to me, something crazy like they're pressing him before he gets to half court.
They did like 2 weeks ago. They were like, all right, go get him, double team him before he gets to half court. Literally, like he's 9 feet from half court. He's like 55 feet away from the basket, and they're like, double him, dude. It's insane. He has taken the game of basketball to a completely different level, and now people can just hope to achieve that level. Charles Barkley said that once he breaks this record and finishes his career out, because he has 500 games ahead of Ray Allen, 500 games ahead of where Ray Allen was. So he has 500 games to go before he even gets to Ray Allen's age or his time in the game. It's amazing. He said that that'll never be broken. I think the only one that we know of that could break it is Trae Young. And I don't even know. I don't even know, man.
I don't see.
I don't know.
Trae's good, but Steph is an elite. When it comes to like elite shooting, we're probably never going to see a dude that can shoot like him.
The efficiency.
He's phenomenal, dude. He's phenomenal.
He's great.
You want to talk about like putting on a show? That when he shoot, that dude puts on a show, and it's just a footwork clinic. He's just better. Like, he is leaps and bounds better than any shooter on the court in any game he plays in.
You know what's amazing too is it's not as sexy, but 2 weeks into the season or something like that, Curry beat Steve Nash's free throw record. So Curry holds like some of the all-time free throw record, like not the most free throws made, but he has the highest percentage through a certain amount of time that anyone's ever had in the history of the game. And Steve Nash commented on it and stuff. He's like, is anyone surprised and stuff? It's like he beat it by like a 1.5%. Curry is so much better than everyone else at shooting. It's not even close. Yeah. Every other human being that's ever existed, he's better.
Me and you have talked about it in nauseum off camera too. Mm-hmm. He is a special shooter, dude. He's just a special shooter.
His brother is a really, really good NBA player, and he's not even half as good as Steph.
Yeah.
Seth is a really good player. Like a $25 million player, in my opinion. He's not even half as good.
The three best shooters I've ever seen in my lifetime. The three best shooters I've ever got to witness in my lifetime. And it goes in this order: Jordan, Kobe, Steph.
Shooters or players?
And I think if Steph keeps going, he's going to get to that Kobe level.
I think you and Dr. Disrespect have the exact same take today, that the top three basketball players of all time, which I agree with you, are Jordan, Kobe, and Steph Curry. I agree. It's crazy. He really is. He's that good. He's 500 games better than Ray Allen. Honestly, Steph could be the greatest of all time someday. I don't even know. We don't even know what he has in store for us. His prime. He's like at the prime of his powers, and he's like still got like 5-6 years left of prime. So it's exciting.
No, he, like I said, we're not going to like that level of efficiency, the level of respect that they show him on the court on a nightly basis is out of this world, dude. They're like you said, they're doubling him before he even breaks half court.
Thibault was so tired from guarding Steph, he couldn't even shoot. He was exhausted. Like, he was all over Steph Curry, Martise Thibault. It was. I mean, it was amazing efforts. He's held Steph to 24 points. He had a hell of a game, honestly. Thibault did, but yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like when you respect a guy, you're guarding him at half court. It's nothing like it. We haven't seen anything like that. It's just a fact. Maybe Jordan, maybe Kobe. That's about it. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, Nash was a great player. Nash was really, really great. And Steph Curry, once Steph beat his record, Nash was just like, duh. Of course he was going to break my record. Like, everyone knew that. And he's Curry. So he does what Nash did way better than Nash. And Nash was amazing. Nash is a Hall of Famer. I love Steve Nash. I miss him. Great player until his ankles kind of busted out.
Nash was Nash was really good. You want to talk about somebody with court vision, with great court vision, amazing, and like some incredible passing abilities. Steve Nash was it.
He said Curry invented the desperate three with attitude. Yeah, Curry invented a lot of stuff. Curry changed the entire game that we play. Even kids now are just jacking up threes in the local courts.
But JD, I think that's going to do it for the episode. So episode 21, guys, in the books. You are more than welcome. Me and JD are going to fire up this. We are going to add this little wheel of fun here. So
yeah,
here's how this is going to work. Me and JD are about to buy one of you guys a Christmas present. And it's going to be last man standing. So the wheel spins, it lands on a name, and you're eliminated. You're out. The last one standing gets the
I like this.
Gets the giveaway. So we are gonna fire this up and spin away. So if y'all know your members, if y'all are members, stay tuned, hang out with us. and find out who wins. And if you don't see it, if you don't see the members, go and grab them wherever they are. Go find them on the interweb and go and get them and bring them here. But here we go. We are going to get this started.
Yeah, quite a few of them are here, though.
First spin. JD, let me know if it's spinning on Cam Live so we can see it.
Okay.
Is it spinning?
Spinning. It's spinning.
All right. So who is going to be the first one that we have to knock off?
Oh, Tor Forward.
All right. Tor is...
Where you going? You're the winner that you aren't here anymore.
So let me find...
The Wheel of Death. You should call it the Wheel of Death.
Did it take Tor out? I think
it looks like it. Yeah.
I think it did take him out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we go. We are
thanks, Birdman.
Away.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right, Cool Genuine Phil is the next one that we are going to take off
Phil.
The list.
Dang, how are you going to do Phil like that? Come on, man. Wheel of Loss, I like that. Wheel of Misfortune.
The Wheel of Misfortune. All right, here we go. Spin it away.
Rick, Missy, and Luke are all still up. What's up, Boston? Sports fan.
Oh, it almost Nikki is gone.
There you go.
Sorry, Nikki.
If they're not here and they win, like, is it last person here or is it just?
I'm gonna give them 24 hours to get back to me.
Okay, and then we'll have to remember. Well, we'll have it on video.
So
Never mind.
We'll have to remember who the final. You know what we'll do? I'll make a note of it. The final. I will write the final 5 down.
For sure. That's a good idea.
Or the final 3.
That's
what we'll do. The final 3. And if nobody claims, then we're gonna have to do this over again.
Oh no! Let's not do that.
What's up, Boston sports fan? All right, guys, here we go. We are counting them down.
We'll definitely claim it. The Wheel of Impending Doom.
Who's up?
Next Level Sports.
Next Level Sports is
knocked
gone.
Out. See you, bud. Much love to you.
All right, we are spinning away. It's getting down, y'all.
Jack Jethro?
Oh,
yep.
Jack Jethro. Oh, sorry, bro.
Man.
Sorry, bro. That's my brother. He gone. He getting a Christmas present anyway. So
he'll be all right.
All right. Moving along. Oh, the Carver family gone.
No.
Sorry, Terry.
You guys are still in play, guys. Still in play. A lot of people in the chat.
All right, here we go. We're getting it down. We are winding it down.
LG?
Oh, LG, my bad, yo. Sorry, bud. Once again, guys, for those of you who are tuning in, the last man standing, me and JD, I-90 Sports Talk, is going to buy you a Christmas present.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We're getting down, man. Those names are getting bigger and bigger.
Ooh.
Agent got saved at the last second.
Wow.
VPG.
I thought it was.
Sorry, buddy.
Man. It's intense.
All right.
It's got me sweating like a nun in a cucumber field. Oh, my God. Luke.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Goose. Oh, sorry,
dang,
bud.
Rest in peace, bro.
Here we go.
Oh, no. Past you, Luke.
Sorry, coach.
Sorry, coach. It was on Luke for a second there.
All right, here we go. The names are getting bigger, guys. We're winding it down.
Oh, yeah, Rick saved.
Second. Patriots, sorry, buddy. You're
out. Wheel of fate, man. This is the wheel of fate.
So let's see. Let's keep it rolling. Or keep it spinning, we should say.
No!
Oh, no! Oh, wah. Sorry, Luke.
Sorry, Luke. Damn.
Sorry, Luke. All right. Spinning away.
I would send someone a spare Bears lanyard. I don't think anyone's a Bears fan. Oh, it's getting real. Oh, man. It's getting real big now.
Missy B, Jorge, Asia, Rick, Bobby Woodruff, Mav, Gridiron Blitz, Valhalla, and Bosco are
all deserving for sure.
the survivors so far. Let's see.
All very deserving. Oh, Asia.
Sorry, Asia.
Sorry, Luke. I feel bad. Luke wanted it.
All right, we're winding down, guys.
Survivor Series. No!
Oh, sorry, Missy.
Damn. That's tough. Man.
All right, Missy is out. Look at those names. They're getting bigger and bigger.
They're really big.
Oh,
ooh, who's it going to be? Oh, Jorge. Or George.
Sorry, Jorge. So our
Mav the
final six right now: Rick, Bobby Woodruff, Mav the Legend, Gridiron Blitz, Valhalla, and Bosco. By the way, it should be noted, Bosco was my first member.
Ooh. Yeah, this next one will be the top 5. Whoever gets out after this, yeah.
So let's see. Oh, is Rick gonna get saved?
Oh, whoa! No, Rick's out. No way.
There goes Rick. Oh, my bad, bro. Sorry.
Oh, nice try, Rick. Dang, he was so close. So was Missy.
The final 5 are Bobby Woodruff, Mav the Legend, Gridiron Blitz, Valhalla, and Boz. I'm gonna
for sure, Missy. That's true.
I'm gonna have to text Valhalla to get in here.
Nothing but winners in this chat for sure. Champs. Even the Bears. Someday.
All right. So.
All right, top 5.
This will be the final 4 after this spin.
This is it.
This will be the final 4. So we got Mav the Legend, Bobby Woodruff, Bosco, Valhalla, and the Gridiron Blitz.
I like that better, Boston. We're legends. That's better. I like that better.
All right, here we go. Spinning away. Where's it going? Oh, it's
GIB's gone.
He's done.
Nice. Thanks for playing.
So the final 4, Valhalla, Mav, Boz, and Bobby Woodruff. Oh, ooh. Bobby Woodruff is gone. Bobby Woodruff is out. Down to 3. Who you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna win?
You said Bosco is your first one, so I like first.
Boz was the original.
That was good too.
OG. Like
there's no bad choice.
She was the first ever member.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Bosgold just for that reason. It's a good reason to root for him.
All right, here we go.
No bad answer, though. All three good members. Oh, man, it's intense. Oh, Valhalla's got the boot. He's top 3, though. Remember, Valhalla's number 3.
Okay, so let me pull my notes up just so we can do this.
I'll put the VOD out too for sure, so that way people can see.
All right, so
we'll have record of it, video record.
Valhalla. All right, ready?
He's number 3.
So
this is it. This is the moment of truth.
This is going to determine the winner.
This is
going to determine the winner.
This is it.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm nervous.
And away we go. Oh, Mav won.
All right, Mav the Legend. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Mav the Legend's awesome. Mav the Legend's freaking cool. I've talked to Mav the Legend multiple times, I think. Hell yeah. Good for you. Merry Christmas, Mav the Legend, right? Shoot. That's awesome. We had an awesome big 3 and final 10, really. That was intense.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. Mav the Legend. I'm going to give him 24 hours. So it is, mark this down, JD. We will give him, it's 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. I will give him until 7:45 tomorrow to get back to me. Now, this is what he needs. If you see him in another stream, go tell him to find me, because this is what I need from him. I need an email address and a first name. And if he's not comfortable, then we're going to go down the list until I will go to Boz. And if I don't hear from her in a day, I'm going to go to Valhalla. That's how this is going to work. All right.
Good stuff.
If you see Mav the Legend in any live stream, you need to tell him to get in touch with me either on YouTube or on Twitter and tell him that he won and he needs to come give me what I need to give him his Christmas present.
That's a good one.
We'll go down the list. So the top 3 were Mav the Legend, Bosgel, and Valhalla.
The Beantown Christmas present.
Everybody. Thanks to all the mods and members.
Absolutely. That was fun. Good times.
So
it's fun to eliminate people.
Mav the Legend is the winner.
Good game. Good game.
When, like I said, me and JD we will keep track of that. But once again, guys, thanks a lot for playing. Episode 21 in the books. We appreciate y'all. All of the members, much, much appreciated to you guys. We are out of here.
Heck yeah, man. Can't wait for 22. Let's go. Bear down.
So if it goes down, I have a feeling, I don't know if hopefully I'm able to track down Boz and Mav, but then and I know Valhalla. I know his contact info, so I don't need it from him, but that'll do it though, guys. So once again, it's 24 hours. Mav the Legend has 24 hours to get in touch with me. And if you guys can track him down before I can, because I'm going to go look for him too. I'm going to be looking for him too. If he doesn't get back to me, then it's going to go to Boz, and I'm going to give her a day to get back to me. And if I don't hear from her, I'm going to go to Valhalla, and I know his contact information.
Heck yeah.
But Merry Christmas to Mav the Legend from myself and JD. Congratulations on winning the contest, and thank you for being a member. Much, much appreciated. But that'll do it, guys. Me and JD are out for the night. We appreciate y'all. Go Pats. JD, hit him with it.
Bear down, boys. Bear down and see red. Let's go. Big year.
Take care, guys. We love y'all. We're out. Peace.
Peace out.